atrophy of those muscles.
Can you see a connection between those huge projects and the call for full disclosure, whereby there's been an ardent, vivacious call for disclosure and it has not happened, and something going wrong in those projects? For example, the SGR, which Okiya Mtata is pushing for, we saw that project was bloated by I don't know how many billion shillings. Do we see that there's a problem, that there's a connection, or there's a similar thread between that for which it's being pushed and a problem in the project?
So SGR has resulted in Kenya Railways having losses of tens of billions of shillings annually. So you can see the impact. The Kenyans may enjoy traveling on the SGR passenger, but it is making losses. So you can see the impact down the line. Expressway, as a Nairobi-born and bred person, I would say Expressway has helped to deal with certain traffic issues. But when Expressway contract was being handled, what was the commitment to Parliament and to the people of Nairobi? That the 3-lane highway from the airport to Westlands will not be interfered with. When we travel on that lower road, we find there are sections it has been squeezed into 2 lanes.
Yes.
So you can see there were problems in the implementation. So when we find some people talking about shooting up of Kenya's debt GDP ratio has shot up tremendously. The burden to the taxpayer of having to service all these debts, of course, is a connection. The bigger the project, the bigger the impact on the public debt of the country. So we want to ensure that for future generations, even for ourselves, we take care of our resources effectively. And that is why there is, as you have indicated, a connection between sometimes the rushed implementation of some of these big projects and future problems that we have to live with down the road.
Is it possible that a project of this nature has already begun, even while the LSK is asking for full disclosure, when Kenyans are saying, hang on, what's going on? Has paperwork been signed? We saw that there was some paperwork that was signed with Adani, even before that.
Yeah, the Greenfields project.
Greenfields project. That was done. There was paperwork already signed. Somebody's signature was already somewhere. So it's very clear that somebody's already taken responsibility. That's what you do when you put your signature down. Is it possible that this has already gone on and folks are just carrying on with their duty, and you can, do what you need to do over there, but we have to get this thing done?
Yeah, so fortunately, when contracts are signed, that is when now you have a document to be disclosed to the public. You understand? And that is when now you can go to court to challenge that document. So there's no problem if they sign the contract after the period of award, because when you award a tender, there's normally a period of about 14 to 21 days when you check whether any of the tenderers has gone to the public procurement review board. If they haven't, and you do the final negotiation, you sign the contract. So they maybe have signed the contract in accordance with the procedure. That one I can't tell. You'll have to invite them here to your studio to tell you how far the project has gone. For us, you're saying disclose how far you're gone with this project, and the moment the contract is signed, disclose it to us so that we can also review it.
And is there an or else? I'm sorry, Dennis. Is there an or else? Do this or else?
I think, as I said before, Kenyans have gone to court and have been able to pause many projects. Even recently, the Ebola containment facility that was being put up in Lodwar, the contract had been signed. But we got a court order. The Law Society of Kenya and Katiba Institute went to court. We got a court order on that issue. The Riruta-Ngong meter gauge railway, there is currently a court order on that issue. So projects can be signed, they can even try to start them, but the court always has the power to stop it. The earlier you stop it, the better, because then there's less expenditure of public funds. And we hope that the Attorney General is able to ensure that the contract clauses include force majeure. It's called force majeure. So that if a Kenyan court stops the project, then we don't expose the government to too much penalty, financial penalty in such a project. But even if there was going to be a penalty, there's something called the sunk cost fallacy, and I've talked about it before. The fact that you, for example, sunk a bit of money into a project doesn't mean you continue with it if it is not going to be for the best interest of Kenyans. So you still make a new analysis at whatever stage you are at. Is it okay for us to continue with this project? It's like you can dig a well or a borehole, you drill, you reach the depth required, there's no water. You drill again, there's no water. It doesn't mean you have to keep drilling until the center of the earth. Sometimes you abandon one project and you go to the next one. The moment it becomes too costly or you realize it is not contrary to the law. So the ability to reverse